United People's Freedom Alliance parliamentarian Arundhika Fernando participated in the 61st seminar on the Westminster system held in Britain recently. Arundhika Fernando expressed his views on the seminar.
Thursday there was a session about human rights, and there were some members, the member countries, they were against Sri Lanka, like Australia, Canada and England. And in my speech, I explained to them about the operations which were carried out by the Sri Lanka forces to rescue these Tamil civilians, and also about the development which is carrying on in the northern and the eastern province in Sri Lanka. And we wanted them to consider some time for us to implement this LLRC report. And also, like, I met British Prime Minister and the British Speaker in the Parliament, and where I told them to intervene with this situation, because, like, Sri Lanka being a Commonwealth member country, they should intervene with this problem.
A petition has been filed in the Chennai High Court urging India to arrest Minister Douglas Devananda by enlisting the help of Interpol. South Indian Sun TV news reporter Nelson Xavier filed this report for us.
The Chennai High Court has received a petition from Attorney-at-Law Pugalendi requesting Sri Lankan Minister Douglas Devananda to be named as an international criminal. The petition states that the government of India could take the necessary steps to arrest any individual who commits a crime in India, be it a local or a foreigner, with the assistance of Interpol. The petition states that the Chennai High Court has named Minister Douglas Devananda as a suspect in the case pertaining to the shooting of Tirunavakkarasu in 1987. Thereby, the petitioner stated that India could intervene and grant Douglas Devananda a red card, which is given to international criminals. The petition filed by Attorney-at-Law Pugalendi at the Chennai High Court will be taken up for consideration in the near future.
You're with News First. Up next is Action TV.
A majority of the schools facing the risk of closure are primary schools which only have classes up to grade 5. Principals are among the officials who should bear responsibility for the closure of these schools. However, the principals of primary schools should not bear the complete responsibility of schools closing down. A share of the responsibility should also be borne by principals of neighbouring schools that provide both primary and secondary education. However, there have been instances where exceptional principals were able to breathe new life into closed schools. It is such a principal that was able to revive the Kaluthura Kajutuwa Primary School after the Western Province Department of Education decided to shut it down in 2003. However, the sustainability of this school depends on the Miriswatha National School, which is located in close proximity to it. Although the Miriswatha National School has its own primary section, officials decided to name the Kajutuwa Primary School as a feeder school to it in 1985. Thereby, it became mandatory for the Miriswatha National School to accept all grade 5 students who pass out of the Kajutuwa Primary School.
The problem has arisen this year. The parents of children who passed from this school came and complained to me on several occasions that their children were not admitted to the Miriswatha National School.
However, by not admitting students who pass out from the Kajutuwa Primary School, officials had given a clear warning to the parents of the area. This practice warns parents that students who enter grade 1 at the Kajutuwa Primary School will have no place in the Miriswatha National School once they come to grade 6. The principal of the primary school, who was even presented presidential awards, remains helpless as parents tend to pull their children out of this school. Only 13 out of 20 students who passed into grade 6 from the Kajutuwa Primary School were given a place to study at the Miriswatha National School. This too was granted after the Secretary to the Ministry of Education issued a direct order to the Director of Education in the Kaluthura zone. However, parents had been swindled even when this direct order was carried out. Officials requested the parents to pay a sum of 4,200 rupees each and also made it mandatory for each student to bring his or her own table and chair. One student who could not fulfill this request remains without a school up to date. The request to bring desks and chairs as well as provide money to the school varies from student to student. Can schools such as Kajutuwa Primary School survive in a backdrop where schools such as the Miriswatha National School continue to act in a biased and illegitimate manner? Secretary to the Minister of Education, this is over to you.
The Chauffeur Tourist Guide Lecturers Association states that it has become nearly impossible for the association to continue providing its services owing to the high costs that have to be incurred. Convening a media briefing today, the association urged the government to intervene and resolve the problems that have cropped up.
The Chauffeur Tourist Guide Lecturers Association provides vehicles along with guide services to foreign tourists who visit the country. This body of professionals is licensed by the Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority. The association points out that their charges need to be increased to keep up with the increase in the price of goods, including fuel prices.
අපි ඉල්ලන්නේ මේ පවතින මිලට රුපියල් 10ක් කිලෝමීටරයට වැඩි කරන්න කියලා.
What we are requesting is for 10 rupee increase per kilometer to the existing fee. The guide fee should be 1,000 rupees per day. If not, we are hoping to engage only in driving and not act as tour guides. We are expecting government intervention. We are asking the government to protect the tourism industry and act in a manner where the dividends are shared amongst everyone without merely handing it over to the private sector.
සියලු දෙනාටම මේ ප්‍රතිලාභ බෙදිලා යන ආකාරයට මේකට මැදිහත් කරුවෙක් වශයෙන් රජයේ මැදිහත් වෙලා ක්‍රියා කරන්න කියන එක අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
Taking a look at another local story, a tense situation arose during a meeting held under the auspices of United National Party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe in Horana today. The meeting was held in the Bellapiti area in Horana. UNP General Secretary Tissa Attanaika accompanied the UNP leader to the meeting. Following the speeches of Ranil Wickremesinghe and Tissa Attanaika, supporters contributed towards the renovation of the party headquarters, Sirikota. Subsequently, attempts were made to present a video containing the footage of the recent attack on Sirikota. At this point, those gathered expressed their opposition to it. And Punshani Adrisinghe joins us now with the very latest from the sporting arena.
Very good evening and welcome to Sports First. The England cricket team arrived in Sri Lanka to play a test series after 4 years. Speaking to Sports First, England cricketer Samit Patel said that the upcoming series will be a challenging one for his team.
The England team, led by Andrew Strauss, engaged in their first practice session today at the R. Premadasa Stadium. England, the current world #1 in tests, are in Sri Lanka with a squad of 8 batsmen, 6 bowlers and 2 all-rounders.
Obviously, we're obviously going to have to improve on the way our skill levels are at the moment, and take things forward. We've got a combat spin, and it's going to play a big factor over here, as I said that before. But yeah, we're looking forward to the challenges of playing and beating Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka.
Samit Patel also spoke of the experience he gained when he toured Sri Lanka representing the England Lions, who took on the Sri Lanka A team last January.
Massively, yeah. Being in Sri Lanka before I went to the UAE to play the ODI series was a big help, and obviously pictures here will tell me, can relate back to how the other guys are going to be playing on wickets that are going to spin and they're going to be slow, and just different expectations to arrive.
The England team is set to play 2 3-day practice matches and 2 test matches. The first test is scheduled to be played on the 26th of March at the Galle International Cricket Stadium, and the second test on the 3rd of April at the Pisara Oval.
Pakistan defeated Bangladesh by 21 runs in the curtain raiser of the Asia Cup in Mirpur yesterday. After setting the hosts a target of 263 runs, Pakistan bowled out Bangladesh for 241 runs in 48.1 overs. We now join former Sri Lankan cricketer Sanjeewa Ranatunga for an in-depth analysis of today's game.
Bangladesh captain winning the toss invited Pakistanis to take the first lease of the surface. which was the talking point. A lot of people thought the captain should have done otherwise. Pakistani started really well. They had a partnership of over 100 runs for the first wicket. And after losing the first wicket, Pakistanis lost a couple of wickets and they were in danger of getting all out under 200 runs. But thanks to a latter order support by bowlers, they went in to get a good score of 265 odd runs. When we look at the Bangladesh bowling, they bowled on good lines and lengths. They didn't have any bowler who could take wickets, but they were containing the Pakistanis well, and that pressure really put Pakistanis in the back seat and lost a couple of wickets trying to score runs quickly. Chasing 266 to win, Bangladesh was in control up to about the 45th over. They were within their run rate and they had partnerships going. But unfortunately, the Pakistanis bowlers had more experience and they really put pressure back on the Bangladesh batting lineup. So I think when we look at the whole game, difference was the bowling attack of Pakistanis, who really had bowlers who could take wickets. When we look at the decision of the toss also, at conclusion, it was a very good decision to ask Pakistanis to take first slice, because in the evening there was a little bit of moisture and the Pakistanis were struggling when they were bowling and also when they were fielding. So probably that prompted the Bangladesh captain to ask Pakistanis to take first slice of the surface.
And that's a wrap of News First Primetime News for tonight. Remember, to read up on any of the stories we aired tonight, you can log on to www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara.
And I'm Gayatri Ratna. Good night.